Hello and welcome. So for everybody that saw all of my coverage coming out about the upcoming 6.08 with Oceanic Datacenter coming online, the resuming of game sales, keep in mind that some of this is trickling out over the 25th and some of it over the 26th. So I've already hopped in game. I ran my MSQ roulette for the day, and because I hadn't run yesterday, so I was trying to grab it pre-reset. And there were people saying like, "Hey, why are they not resuming sales? My friend really wanted to buy the game." That's tomorrow. It's a lot rolling out very rapidly, so I think they wanted one day to focus on Oceanic. The big news of today, besides battle systems, is Oceanic. So Oceanic Datacenter. This comes online on January 25th. You will be able to transfer to it beginning on the 26th. Keep in mind that when you transfer to a new world, you will get that road to 80 buff. So for anybody looking to make that move, enjoy it. I've seen some people saying that when you create a new character over there, not only will you get a million gil, but that you will get the 15 days of free playtime for getting to level 30. Keep in mind that does have a restriction on it that is once per service account. And so I don't believe that's you just create a character, get it to 30, get 15 free days. Create a character, get it to 30, get 15 free days. I don't think you get to do that an unlimited number of times across every new world on every new server all the time. And so I don't think creating one on Oceanic does that. That's how I read that. I could be reading that wrong. But the way I read it is if you have ever received that buff ever, which basically non-legacy players most likely have, it does seem like it's tied to new worlds, so it's possible they haven't, but like I believe back when I joined the game that I was given 15 days of free time when I first got my jobstone. And so I believe that my account would not be eligible for that. So just be aware of that. If you enjoy the process, go be a part of it. How cool to be part of a new world, experiencing ARR when there's all these people around running the quests at the same time. But if you get out the other end of that and the only reason you did it was for the 15 days of free playtime and you don't get it, I just want you to be aware that like I think there's a couple ways to read that asterisk over on the Oceanic Data Center site that I went over last time. There are some resolved issues, and then we'll talk about battle changes here. The biggest one is while we're talking about Oceanic, that jumbo cactpot drawing time is going to display incorrectly. It will still be drawn correctly, but they have a known issue that they can't get it to display correctly yet. I expect that to be fixed relatively quickly. And let's talk about battle system changes. 10 jobs got buffs across the board. They are going to vary between minor buffs and massive buffs. I think a lot of this is based around Pandemonium and the feedback coming out of the Pandemonium race. And so I know that I've already been kind of logged in game for the day, and I've already run Dancer, and of course it feels great. These are going to be based on the potencies at level 90. So, I mean, some of these are level 90 abilities. So just keep in mind this is functioned around that if anybody's parsing below level 90 or something like that. Paladin is first up. Massive winner of the day. Massive winner of the day. I think all 4 tanks have felt amazing relative to last expansion. I feel incredibly powerful, especially like when a healer is struggling. I feel like I have more I can do, especially on Warrior and Paladin. But the DPS coming out of Paladin and Pandemonium has been a bit disappointing, and they got potency adjustments across the Blade of Faith, Truth, Valor, but also on Expansion and Spirits Within. So massive increase in potency here. Monk did get a minor one. Warrior actually got one onto Tomahawk, so I assume that's just that ranged abilities were a little off. I don't know why Warrior would get a buff in any way. Monk and Samurai both got one, just keeping them paired based on gear there. And so we are seeing some melee buffs. We figured melee would kind of get a buff to everybody, I guess, but really, I mean, Reaper's the big one that I did not expect to get any buffs. But Monk, Dragoon, Ninja, and Samurai all got buffs, which tells you that Reaper was in a good spot and they wanted to bring everybody else up. Monk just got the one, Dragoon got several, Ninja got several. I know I've been hearing people asking for Ninja. Samurai got a handful, and then when we look to physical ranged, Bard came out of this expansion crushing it. We meme on Bard a lot over on Work to Game, but you know, they have absolutely been tearing it up this expansion, and so Machinist and Dancer both did get potency increases, which will hopefully bring them more in line with Bard for people that are kind of pushing through prog on that or are trying to pad those numbers. Thaumaturge, our Black Mage, was mentioned as one of the handful of jobs they knew were going to get a buff in 6.08. They like that job to hit hard because, you know, it's lack of utility. And Summoner did as well, which says they thought Red Mage was in a good spot because Red Mage is noticeably absent from that. So I think Summoner, people were excited to get basically a new job here. The reception on the rotation and stuff has been pretty mixed. In at least what I have heard, but I think overall people just wanted it to punch a little harder, so it looks like it got a handful of potency increases to Astral Impulse, Ruby Bright, and Fountain of Fire there. PvP, as we look towards 6.1, it would not shock me to see more of these changes coming out. We're getting massive updates in 6.1 to PvP, and Dragoon is the only one mentioned here as of 6.08. It would not shock me if we get more balances going into the 6.1 patch or after the 6.1 patch, once they kind of see how PvP lands, as a lot of people charge back into it. Until then, still worth doing your frontlines dailies to get that massive experience. Beyond that, I think PvP players have got to just be excited about the upcoming changes. And that's really the big things. I would say that, just a reminder, we've got a lot of holiday events this time of year. All Saints Wake is going on. Go ahead and grab that clown mask. There's some interesting technology with kind of the face paint and all that, to see if maybe we're moving into yet another layer of kind of where they could go from here. As far as glamour stuff, I think there's always an exciting conversation of like, is there something technically different about what's being done with this? I don't know that a clown is the one to go with first, but that's exciting. And then for any of you that are big Omega fans, we do have some Omega glamours here joining the store there for sale. So hopefully that's exciting for you. Both the male and female are available. And that's all of the news for this week. Remember, anything that didn't come online on the 25th, the 26th is the other half of that. And then we have upcoming changes with JP moving from 32 servers across kind of limited data centers to spreading that out to where it's more 88888. And then EU and NA are both getting bolstering to their world offering in the coming months and what feels like years, because there is kind of that two-part rollout to that. So everybody is winning right now as far as the existing data centers. Obviously, we'd love to see even more data centers come online and support even more geographic parts of the world with a little bit better latency and maybe, more direct support. But very, very exciting to be a Final Fantasy fan right now. As we get ever closer to what will be what I assume will be 2 live letters going into 6.1. I'd still say March is a month, but it would not shock me if it is slid into April. I think the actual patch day, I think Brian's guessing mid-March, and so I think I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat into the first week or 2 of April there. So I think that there is a lot coming online. Remember that for anybody still a new fan of the game hanging out here, just wondering, hanging on every word of information, remember that 6.1 is our casual patch, so that will be the Alliance raid, Myths of the Realm. That'll be PvP coming online. That'll be housing coming online. The first Beast Tribe will most likely come online. I think it'll be too early for a Relic, and then do keep in mind that we get ultimates from time to time, not that many of them. We are getting our 4th ultimate during the 6.1x patch cycle. Would not shock me if a fair bit of that gets divided into 6.1 day of and 6.15. Remember, they could even break it apart further than that if they wanted to, but I would assume that's at least being split in half. So for anybody that's looking at those dates and you're saying, that's when I'll get into X, just be aware that your one feature might be something that actually comes at the half patch, so you'd be looking at another ballpark 8 weeks from that date. And that's it. Have a great day, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying these news posts. I've got a lot being worked on behind the scenes. Got a new editing computer coming in. Mine is basically stalled out, so it's really hard for me to get this stuff out. And so I look forward to sharing a lot of upcoming projects with you as far as gaming kind of news. But until then, enjoy Final Fantasy, enjoy whatever game you're playing, and I'll see you next time.